Hey guys, I have got a big box here and I want to unbox it. Some of these I've looked at already. I played one of them already. These are board games. So I know I've combined my channel of, actually I've separated my channel of Dean of DVD, which is probably what I'll upload this to, with Dean of Gaming, which will eventually find its way onto. Once I figure out how to do that. Falagar is going to help me out with that, but I've got a box full of games. I'm sorry I'm out of breath, but it's allergy season and I just lugged these like 2 floors. But here's the thing. Love board games. As a kid I loved them, and as an adult I love them. I'm just started getting back into them though, and I've started to play more and more board games, and I find I really enjoy them. So, where's the camera? Over on that side. Okay, I'm trying to figure out which side the camera's on. So I'm at least looking in the general direction. It's an iPad. It's not always easy to figure out, but I think it's over there. Right there should be it. Okay. So let me show you what I got. And I'll talk a little about each one. I haven't opened 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And the other ones, 2 of them I opened just enough to consolidate. And one I opened up last night and played. So let me put the big box on the floor first of all. Ooh, this is what let me tell you how I got all these. This represents about $300 worth of games, and the way I got them was I had familiar with Magic the Gathering years ago. Let's see, probably 15 years ago, I started playing Magic the Gathering, and I bought quite a lot. What would happen is I would trade. I was pretty good at trading. I always liked the trading aspect of Magic the Gathering better than even the playing, though I enjoyed the playing. But I really liked the trading. So I would trade for something and get it, and then trade it off for something else. Well, a lot of times what would happen is I get a card, and those of you who've played Magic the Gathering know these cards called maybe Time Walk, or Black Lotus, or a Emerald Mox. These are things that go for a lot of money right now. Well, at the time, they really didn't. And I was able to trade up, like I get a Black Lotus and I trade for maybe 3 Moxes, which at the time was a pretty fair deal. I don't know if it is now. Anyway, I got a lot of cards. Because what happened is that I traded like a Mox for an entire box of cards, brand new unopened box of cards that somebody bought. And I get more cards, and I trade those, get another Black Lotus from, so it's just a matter of, I get a lot of cards. So I took 17 of these cards, and none of the ones I mentioned. I don't have any Black Lotuses anymore, or Moxes, or Time Walks, or Time Vaults, or any of these really expensive cards. But I took a handful of fairly recent cards, 17 of them to be exact, and took them to the local Neverland Games, which is a local, I'll give them a little plug, if you're in the Hagerstown, Maryland area, or anywhere is near there. Even worth the drive maybe in from Baltimore an hour or so, or DC, or points near there. Certainly worth the 20-minute drive it took me to get there. Neverland Games stocks all sorts of board games, Magic the Gathering cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you name it. They've Dungeons and Dragons stuff. They have a Friday night open. In fact, I have credit there. I'll get to that in a minute. But I have credit there. He said anybody who's got the amount of credit you have on account can come in here anytime they want and play. He said I'll even unbox open up a game that's wrapped for you to try if you want to make sure you like it, which I thought was really nice. Really nice guy. Anyway, he gave me, and he said it was right, but I asked him to check it again. He told me it was right, but for 17 cards, I had $580 worth of store credit. I couldn't spend, I could have, but I didn't feel the need to spend $580 in store credit. So I still have $280 or something left on account, which is fine by me because he gives 50% more in credit than he does for cash. So rather than 100, you get 150. Rather than 200, you'll get 300. So I could have taken the cash, but I decided to go ahead and I have other cards he wants, but some will be more expensive, but I'll get to those later. I still play Magic the Gathering with my sons, my teenage boys, and they love it. And we bought some packs of Magic the Gathering too. I forgot about that. I bought let's see, how many did I buy? 18 packs. We each Two of my boys were with me, the third one wasn't. But each of us got 6 packs each, so 18 packs at about $5 a pack. We also got those, so that would be included in what I got here. But let me start with the one we played last night. What a fun game. And I don't know if you're into board games, but as much as I love movies, Criterions and TV shows and things, as much as I like video games like Overwatch and Madden football and things like that, I also love to sit down with a board game sometimes and just play it and enjoy the group, in-person thing. And I think back to when I was a kid and we played different games around the, whether it be Tripoli, my parents used to play for cash. If you know that game, it's one thing. Poker, I still play some poker once in a while if I get anybody who's willing to try me in it. But certainly I love the board games when you sat down and played. And this one right here is a lot of fun. It's really a 2-team or 2-player game. We played it last night, one of my boys and myself. We really had a good time with it. It's put out by a group called Cool Mini or Not. I don't know what that means, Cool Mini or Not. But it's in real nice shape, of course, brand new. We just got it. Just unloaded it or unwrapped it last night. And let's see, there you go. Called Rum and Bones. This is a swashbuckling pirate deal where, I'll show you the back, you have 2 ships that have gangplanks between them. And then you've got, and all these little figures come with it. There's like, I don't know, hundreds of them. You've got your minions that you put on the ship, and then you've got these guys in the back. These guys that are colored here in the back are your heroes. Comes with 5 per team. You can pick and choose. They each have their own card. And you can put 3 in play at a time. And then they, along with your minions, attack the other person's ship. They have cannons on each ship. You try to take those cannons out. They have rigging, which allows people to kind of swing across, and you can take the rigging out. They no longer can do that. A lot of fun. The product is packaged very nicely. All these kind of games are now. Gone is the old cheap cardboard they used to use for these. These things will last a lifetime if you treat them right. And I'm going to put this on a shelf until I get ready to play it. It'll look like that on the shelf probably. But what a great 2-player game. The idea is you move your minions forward and your heroes forward. You take out other heroes. There's various abilities that you can use in addition to firing a cannon. Some people are swashbucklers and they have swords and they can take out numerous minions with their swords. And there's cards in play, and then we roll dice. As many, I guess, up to maybe 10 would be the most you could probably roll. And each one that is over a certain number, depending on who the hero is, usually it's over a 3 or a 4, is a hit. And every hit does a point of damage. So some of these guys are 10 and 12. The minions are usually 1 or 2. It's a lot of fun. And it can be played, it says here, it can be played from 2 to 6 players, but really, you can play with 3. One person could control multiple heroes, the other ones, anyway. Let's see, ages 14 plus. I think you could probably play a little younger than that. It's a fairly simple game. And then it takes about an hour to play, which is, we've determined in my little play group, my 3 boys and myself, well, I guess I'll include my wife and daughter, though they're not going to play this one, but we're good for about an hour or 2. We're not going to sit down for 4 or 5 hours and play a game. And there are some games that take that long. That's not for us. So this is why I was attracted to this. And great packaging on it. Let me just show you. I'll open this up. Like I said, we did play it last night, but it all goes away really nicely too. Sometimes you get these games, which I'm pretty good. But and even the so you take the lid off, right? And then you've even got a nice box underneath. I mean, it's not like they skimped on this box. They put all the heroes around it and so on. So what you get is a very nice rule book, full color, that explains everything about the game. And there's a glossary of terms and things in it. And you can get expansions for this. I'm looking forward to getting an expansion. I may even buy the expansion for it. This game wasn't cheap though. They wanted $100 for it, and you can get it right now on Amazon for $60 on sale. The retail is $100, but Amazon, of course, usually runs it cheaper. And yeah, the reason I went ahead and paid the $100 is because I was getting all this credit anyway. So I figured, what the heck. But other games I got were pretty good, pretty well priced. So all the figures come in this. when you open this up, I don't think I'm going to open it now, but there are these plastic trays that all the figures fit in. Just the cheap plastic. They all fit in there nicely. And so it makes for an easy way to get them out when you need them and put them back away. So the Minions are in this one, and then the Heroes are in a separate box right here. And like I said, you can add other heroes easily enough. You might buy an expansion. So I may buy that expansion sometime, but even without it, it's fun enough just with what it is. I don't know that the other expansions come with ships and things. I think you can even buy just the heroes and their cards, which is really all you need. You can still use the same ships. I don't think you need more than 2 ships. Although I suppose new ships could add different things. But really cool. Like one set is the traditional, you can see here, one set is the traditional pirates, and then the other one, these are like the ghost pirates, the undead pirates that are attacking each other. But a lot of fun. I really recommend Rum and Bones. Next up, let's go with this one. This is an expansion to a game I have called Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is a favorite card game of mine right now. Superhero based. The artwork looks something like this on the cards. This is Shattered Timelines, an expansion which expands. This gives you, in this box, I paid like $13 for this off Amazon, so well worth it to me. This contains 220 cards, 2 hero character cards, 2 hero decks of 40 cards each. There's 80. 8 villain character cards, and then 4 villain decks of 25 cards. I'm not really sure why you only get 4 villain decks. And then 2 environment decks of 15 cards each. A rule book, and some sort of a plastic insert. I'm not sure what that's all. But this does require the core game. This is for 2 to 5 players, 30 to 60 minutes in length. I don't recommend playing any more than 4. You could play 5, but it would be really tough. You might have to alter the rules a little bit to play with 5, just because it might be almost impossible to beat the villains. The villains are tough. This is not an easy game to beat, but you can. It's ages 13 plus. Retail, this was $19.95. I picked it up for $13 on Amazon. As Amazon is likely to do. Here's the back. It's one of the villains there. Each villain has their own powers and their own deck with cards that supplement their powers and have minions in them and things that you have to fight, because the minions do damage to you if you don't kill them, or in some cases keep the main villain alive. Like you can't attack the main villain until you've killed all of his minions, and the object is to kill the main villain. So yeah, great stuff there, and pretty heavy. 220 cards in this box, so I will be trying to incorporate this box into my big box of actually not that big, it's about the same size like this one, maybe twice the height. I'll try to incorporate all these cards into what I've already got. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but we'll see. Great game. Next up, I got a family game. As long as I was there, this was about the retail price. I wanted to get a family game, something that my daughter and my wife could play with all of us, because she's always saying, "Here, you can pick out games that I won't play." True that, and I'll get to the next one. I'll show you is really one she'll never play. But this one, I don't know if you've played this. I never have, but it gets a lot of awards. Party Game of the Year, 2007. So we're not talking about a new game, but you know what? Sometimes party games, family games, they don't need to be new to be good. In fact, sometimes the older ones are better. So this is for ages 10 and up. My daughter's 12, so perfect. It's a party game. 4+ players, so you really need 4. Well, that's good. We got 6 in my family, so we ought to be fine with that. And here we got Wits and Wagers, the deluxe edition. So what happens is you've got these spots right here, and you'll get a question like, for instance, every card has 2 questions on it. This card, in inches, how tall is the Oscar statuette? I have no idea. But here are some guesses. 10, 12, 14, 15, 18, 20, and 22. And these guesses were written down by the player. So each person writes down their best guess. And you get to see who wrote them down. So, you know, it's not like a big secret as to who wrote what. That's not the idea. The idea is to bet on the one you think is closest. Which one of these is closest? And I don't know if it's closest without going over, like Price is Right type thing. I haven't read the rules yet. And you bet. And there's different odds also. And I'm not sure how we get the odds, like pays 5 to 1, 4 to 1, 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, and 5 to 1, or even 6 to 1. You can guess smaller than the smallest guess. And if you guess that, so these are all going to be numeric answers. Another question is, how many pounds did the heaviest ever sumo wrestling champion weigh? You have to write that number in there. Maybe it's 700 pounds, so you write that in there. And again, you can go for smaller than the smallest guess. That pays 6 to 1. And then so on. And I think the way it looks is that it goes from lowest to highest. So the ones that are more in the middle are more likely right, I guess. Doesn't mean they are. Again, I'll have to read the rules to see how exactly you determine who goes into 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, and so on. But anyway, looks like a lot of fun. And the idea is you don't have to know the answers. You just have to be able to bet on the person you think knows it after you see all the other answers. So I like that. You still have to have some knowledge, some general knowledge, but yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Wits and Wagers. And I have not opened that up yet, but you get a general idea of. I don't think there's a lot of parts. Contains a 28 by 10 betting mat, 90 cardboard chips, 14 wager chips, 125 question cards with 2 questions each, 7 dry erase pens, 7 dry erase player boards, 1 sand timer, and 1 rules manual. Okay. I see the dry erase player board. So the players go ahead and write their things down, and then you probably just cycle them up. So the average ones are here. That makes sense. Anyway, Wits and Wages. Wits and Wagers. Not wages. Okay, I told you next would be the one my wife would never play. One of the more popular games that's out now. I have not opened it. I've never played it. There's a lot of stuff to this. A lot of these games now, have so many pieces. This is for ages 13 and up, 2 to 5 players, from 60 to 120 minutes. So this is, pushing the limit of the amount of time we want to. 2 hours is about the most we want to play. Now, I realize it might take 3 hours the first time you play it when you're learning it and you're going through the directions and so on. But I would think after that, you're going to be somewhere between that 1 and 2 hour time frame, which is fine for us. We can do an hour and a half or 2 hours. We're just not good at 3, 4, and 5 hours. So the game I'm talking about is a game by Isaac Vega and John Gilmore, put out by Plaid Hat Games, and it's called Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter. Now, if you're not familiar with Dead of Winter, let me give you the general plot. I'll read you the back. Play the epic struggle for power and survival. Dead of Winter is an experience that can only be accomplished through the medium of tabletop games. It is a story-centric game about surviving through a harsh winter in an apocalyptic world. The survivors are all dealing with their own psychological imperatives, but must find a way to work together to fight off outside threats, resolve crises, find food and supplies, and keep up the colony's morale. So yeah. What it doesn't mention is that part of the deal of keeping up your morale and surviving is to survive when they are being faced with zombies. Because in the back, you'll see, well, you can't really see well, but there are zombies in here. That's a zombie right there. And they are scattered throughout the map. So you're going around the map. It's a small town. You're going around the map trying to find food and shelter and stay safe, stay warm. Meanwhile, there are zombies that are out and about, and you have to try to find a way to avoid the zombies. And there could be a traitor in your midst.
You're not going.
Yeah. So because there could be a traitor in your midst, you may end up running. You may have somebody who's trying to sabotage your mission. So here's what you get: 2 dual-sided main objective cards, secret objective cards, and that's where I'm saying you may have a traitor in your midst. Betrayal secret objective cards, so there's for sure that. Exiled secret objective cards, survivor cards, player reference sheets. Oh, there's 30 of this, 10 of that, 10 of, first player, 1 first player token, I'm not sure what that means. 145 item cards, 20 crisis cards, 80 crossroad cards, 25 wound tokens, 20 helpless survivor tokens, 20 food tokens, and so on and so forth. 20 noise tokens. A rule book, 30 action dice, 60 plastic stands to put the zombies on, and I guess your characters too. Yeah, your characters as well. So, yeah, Dead of Winter. I've played 2 to 5 players can play this. I think it'd be better with 4 or 5. Is my guess. I haven't played it, so I don't know. Excuse me, allergy season. This is what the box look like on the shelf. Dead of Winter. You get a little idea of the zombies there. You can see the hands. You get some more idea that there's zombies in this game by looking at the sides, but if you read the description, you wouldn't really know until you start reading everything else. So yeah. So you're playing a character, and I think part of it is you're trying to decide as a group, hey, why don't Joe and I go get the food? You guys wait here. Why don't you try to go get fuel? You take Sue with you. Meanwhile, I may be trying to sabotage things and try to get Joe killed along the way. Interesting game. And of course, you try to find who the traitor is, but you're also got to just survive the night. So if you can survive the dead of winter here, you win as a team. So there's a cooperative game of sorts, and I like cooperative games. But there's also these hidden agendas that people might have. So you might win as a team, but not win your individual objective as well. And you can play either way. The whole team loses if the zombies win, of course. So that's that game. Again, that's what game my wife will never play. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is, well, actually, it's not the last thing. Let me hold up on that. I got this in the mail today. This one is not part of what I got there, but this one was cheap. I don't know what it retails for. I think it was like $10, but I heard it was a lot of fun. And this is a 15-minute game. 3 to 8 people can play it. It's for ages 8 and up. And like I said, a game takes 15 minutes. And those are fun games. These are like go-to games when you're bored. It's raining out. You want to play something or you're waiting for a show to start in a half an hour. You don't want to get into a 2-hour game. But you can play Bang, the dice game. This comes with 5 dice. You can see them here. Now, obviously, there's 6 sides to it, so you get a whole bunch of different things on it. But what you want to get, I think, is probably the shots there, the bang. Here's the idea. In the Wild West, the eternal battle between the law and the outlaws keeps heating up. Suddenly, a rain of arrows darken the sky. It's an Indian attack. Are you bold enough to keep up with the Indians? Do you have the courage to challenge your fate? Can you expose and defeat the ruthless gunmen around you? All the excitement of Bang now with dice. Contains 5 Bang dice, 30 cards, 8 rolls, 16 characters, and 6 summary cards. I don't know what all these are. 9 arrow tokens, 40 bullet tokens, and the game rules. But I do know you have different characters. Like right here, there's a character right here. Then you have different roles. I think these are secret. So nobody knows if you are either you can be a sheriff, you can be an outlaw, or you can be, I'm not sure what that says. Let me open it up so I can tell you. I'll open this one up. It's easy enough to open. So a true unboxing. Somebody the other day said, it's not an unboxing, you didn't open a box. Okay, you're right. In that case, we'll call it a showcasing. So here's all these boxes. Again, all these cardboard boxes have come a long way, man, from what the old Monopoly and stuff. Okay, so open it up. You got 6 dice, like they said. Then they give you a little plastic bag to keep stuff in. Very thoughtful of them. The dice are, the dice will still have a plastic cover over there so they won't fall out of the box. But they're easy enough to take out. You get 6 dice here. Very nice dice. I'm not one for a shaker cup. Some people like that. I like to hold the dice in my hands, like at crap table. Again, what this is. Oh, this is a thing for other games you can get. I love it when they do that. It looks like this is the same person that put out Wits and Wagers. From the look of it, let me see if the game's in here. Just the style of some of the boxes look similar. Maybe not. I think there's an expansion for this too. Bang game system. Picture Bang line with all the expansions. Liven up the basic game with deluxe components of a special edition for even more fun and excitement. I may do that. If I like this as much as I think I will. And then if you really like it, you can get the big standing bullet to put everything in. I guess they'll all fit. So here's your cards. You've got player cards. I don't know what this is. Now let's see. I got a bunch of stuff to open, so let's open this. Let's see what this is first. Terrible allergies. Surprised I'm not sneezing more than I have been. I got the window open. This is nice out today. It's not too hot. Okay, so here we go. Got the rules. That's just a little. There's not a lot to the rules. So, oh, these are the tokens. Okay, so you got the shot tokens. These represent 3 each back here. And you've got some arrows. So that we go. These will all go in the plastic bag eventually. The rules will not. That's fine. Okay. And then this one has all the cards in it. Because unlike Yahtzee, where you just, now I know you get to roll 3 times. I did pick that up from someplace. You have abilities on your character. I think each character probably has slightly different abilities. Some may be similar. Where's my good old? What did I do with my? Did I do with that? Hold on, my trusty nails right here. Okay. Come on, nail, come down. Oh my goodness gracious! Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay. Just about got it. I don't want to ruin the cards. I got it, that one. Oh. And this is why unboxings. I may or may not edit this. I'm not big on editing. I figure anything I babble when I'm going along is probably, if not useful, perhaps not totally worthless. So I know I sometimes will babble some stuff out while I'm opening things up. All right, the trusty nail back. So you've got Paul Regret here, and of course the backs just look like the bag the dice came. This guy has. No, these. It's funny because the main language is in French, but then underneath is the English translation. I find that interesting. So Paul Regret. It says "Non perdi me punti vita," that's in Italian, isn't it? And then underneath it says, "You never lose life points to the Gatling gun." Okay. This guy is a 9, and he has a 1 boat next to his name. This guy's an 8 with 1 next to his name, and so on. Another 8 with 1. I don't know if any of them have more than 1. Some have 7, 9, 7, 7. 8, 9. I don't know what the difference. Oh, here we go. Some of these people have some of these just have quotes next to them. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, hold on. That wasn't just a quote. That was actually an ability. You may make an extra dice roll. You never lose life points to the Gatling gun, so you can't. The Gatling gun, you may take an arrow instead of losing a life point, except to Indians or dynamite. Once per turn, you can use a beer stein to double a 1 or 2. What that means. You may re-roll. You can use 1 or 2. You can use 1 as 2 and vice versa. Okay. Each one has an ability. There's a bunch of those cards. So there's quite a few characters in here. Let's see how many there are. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 it looks like. 15, 16. I thought there was supposed to be 16. Okay. I recall that. So 16 character cards. Then you've got these are 6. It tells you what each one of the symbols does. So you get an arrow, you take 1 arrow. If you take the last arrow, Indians attack, maybe re-rolled. You or another player gains 1 life point, so you can do team things, I guess, with this as well. Then you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ability cards. And these are not so much ability cards. This tells you you are the sheriff. You are the deputy. It's another deputy. You're an outlaw. There's 3 of those. Or you're a renegade, and there's 2 of those. So, don't know much other than I know that there are secret folks that are, have their own agendas, I guess. So put all those cards there. Very nice. Simple game, but you know what? Like Yahtzee, sometimes the simple games are the best. Yahtzee's a lot of fun. I've always had a lot of fun with Yahtzee, so let's see what's the best way to put this in here. Yeah. Oh yeah, perfectly actually. So that goes back in like that. And I'll read the rules on this, and we'll be playing this probably tonight. Looks like a lot of fun. Bang the dice game. Looks like a simple one. Take on the road with you. Not a big deal. You know, easily transported. It's like the rules are pretty easy to deal with. Once you get used to what each one of these symbols do, it's very simple to figure out the game. So that's Bang the Dice Game. And last is a game that I got 2 expansions for at Neverland Games in Hagerstown, Maryland. Highly recommend the place. They're very nice people there. Okay, the original game I already owned. I got there the last time I was there, and I bought some games there the last time, which I'm not going to bore you with all those, but I have a whole closet full of those from the last time I went there. I did $500 worth the last time. I think I had $150 or something, but this was one of the games I picked up, Pandemic. So far, my favorite board game I've tried out of board games I haven't tried before. This is, well, again, I'll read the back. As skilled members of a disaster fighting team, you must keep 4 deadly diseases at bay while discovering their cures. You and your teammates will travel across the globe, treating infections while finding resources for cures. You must work as a team to succeed. Pandemic is a cooperative game. All players win or lose together. I love that. There's no winners and losers. You either all win or you all lose. There's no attacking each other. You're helping each other. You're trying to find out how to solve these viruses that are breaking out across the world. Each player plays a different role with unique special abilities to help your team. You might be a quarantine specialist or a contingency planner or a scientist. There's a lot of things you can be. 7 different roles with matching pawns for each one. 6 research stations where certain things can have to happen there. 6 markers to indicate various things. 96 disease cubes. 48 infection cards. 59 player cards. So on and so forth and so forth. 8 players, or 8 years and up, 2 to 4 players can play this, which is perfect. So I got 3 boys and myself, so 2 to 4, beautiful for this game. Just works out great. This is heavier than it used to be because I managed to incorporate the 2. Let me show you the 2 expansions I got. The first one I got is Pandemic in the Lab. So this is a supplement. You must own the original game in order to have the supplement. Let me show you the back here. There's a big map that has, this is a close-up of it, but it has the entire world on it. Well, let me pop it open here and show you. I don't know if I can, I guess I can. So it's a pretty good sized map. It's for, here's the map. Give you an idea what you're playing with. Place for the cards. The sticker I just added. See that sticker there, a little glossy? That was in one of the expansion sets. It's a brand new thing they added. Another step to this. These are the various cities where things can break out. These cities all have something in common. Same with these, same with these, same with the blue. This is usually where that's where those viruses will break out. That color virus. For whatever reason. Now, conventionally, it can go worldwide. Virus, if it goes worldwide, you're dead. You're screwed. Your job is to find cures for it before it does spread worldwide. All right, so that's that. Now let me go back to in the lab. So in the lab then adds another whole element to the game. So now, and I've heard, I haven't played this yet because I just got it yesterday, but some people will say that this and the components it adds, you just do that and you're happy. So this is a lab challenge. You take samples and develop cures in the lab, which I think is kind of cool. So this gives you 4 new roles: a pilot, a virologist. I can't read the other 2. 3 new event cards. Don't see those. A lab board, which is kind of interesting. It kind of helps you to keep track of the various viruses, and then you kind of combine things, and it's a whole like scientific deal, but it's cool. Here's what it says. Behind sealed biohazard doors, scientists race against time to sequence diseases and test cures. So you're trying to find cures for the viruses, whereas in the first one, if you had a certain amount of cards, you just kind of found the cure. And if you got to a certain research center and so on. Here it's different. Here you are finding the cures in the lab, which I think is kind of a cool. And this edition goes right onto the board. It will go right alongside the board, and that lab would be working while the others are working on that whole big map. So let me show you that map really quickly. Eventually I'm going to show you the whole the layout of everything in here. So okay, here's the original directions for Pandemic. And it lays out various things you can do and so on and so forth. So it's about 6 pages, I guess. Not bad. Lays out all your characters you've got in that particular set, the first set. We've only played one game, but we had a freaking blast. And then I've got this in the lab expansion. So this has its own rules. Again, you've got 3 or 4 pages of rules for this, and the different roles that you've got here in this game. And like I said, I'll show you the little extra board you get that kind of attaches to or goes alongside of your. So this lab, you move strains of the virus from various stages here, and I don't know enough about it to tell you why. Some things spin them and pull things out. Some things, each one of these is a different scientific step that you can do with the viruses that'll get you something, and eventually you can get a cure for it. So I think that's kind of cool addition to it. That's in the lab. Also adds a solo game. There's something called the CDC, Center for Disease Control. And with that card in play, you can play this as a solo player. So the Center for Disease Control will guide you to some extent. Have not played this yet, like I said, but you can either team up with others or you can play it solo. And I like the idea that you can play it solo. Sometimes, if you're by yourself, it's cool. And the other thing I got, which one of my boys, Aaron, was really excited about, is this one called On the Brink expansion. What does this add? Well, this adds something called a virulent strain. One disease turns especially deadly, becomes an epidemic, and now it can spread much faster, much wider. 7 new roles, 8 new events. The events are nasty. Or they could be good. You can get an extra turn, you get borrowed time, something happens, or it could be really bad. You've got 2 mutations. A 5th disease suddenly erupts. So now, you used to have 4 diseases in every other set. This one adds a 5th. The purple. You had black, red, yellow, and blue, and now they've added purple. And the thing my son really wanted is the bioterrorists. One player plays against all the rest. His job is to try to make it so that the viruses spread. And yeah. So has saving humanity become routine? Spice Pandemic up with new roles and events, and add a 5th player. Before you can only play with 4, now you can play 2 to 5 with this. So you can add a 5th player if you'd like. Add a 5th player. Try legendary difficulty or add an optional challenge. What if one disease is particularly nasty, or if a 5th disease is wreaking havoc, or even worse, if that 5th disease is being spread by hidden bioterrorists? No. Lots of fun. And this added Petri dishes, which really should have been in the lab. I thought it was, but nonetheless, you only need 1 set. So let me show you it's going to be difficult to do this because if I hold it up, stuff's going to fall, I think, but I'll try to do what I can here. All right, so everything's in here now. All the cards fit down in here. They are pretty packed, but there's 3 stacks here, and they're kind of shifting because they are pretty high. So they're all kind of, I may change out what's on the top here, but you get the idea. There's 3 stacks here, and this is just because it's all, they're stacking up too high, but I'll fix that. Then you've got each one of these glass bottled virus deals here, and the best way to get those out is to actually start over here and get one of them out. But Well, I'm not going to get them out now, but the idea is that you've got yellow, blue. You got 5 of them, including the new purple one if you want. And you really can't tell the colors, but it's red, purple, blue, black, and yellow. Then each of these hold all the viruses, which I thought was kind of cool. So these virus counters are now in these petri dish type things. Similar to Risk, I guess. I mean, I put some of the counters underneath there too. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So those are all in there, including the purple one underneath. And then you've got all the player markers here. These did turn a little bit, but I'll fix these. So, like I said before, what I read before off the back of the box, each player has their own colored marker, which is important because you won't lose track of who's where. You won't get confused because you'll have all of them in there. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So they all fit in there nicely. Everything fits from all the expansions. I think there's another expansion. I think there's one more expansion, but I don't think I'm going to get that one. I did some research, and it said that basically these expansions would be the ones to get. Now, if they come out with another one, who knows? I may have to think about it. But they really played ahead by having a box like this where you can store all this stuff. And everything fits in there. This map fits in there. Here is the rule book for Pandemic on the Brink, which talks about the bioterrorist and that stuff. Oops. And then this, I only put one. This is the one thing I couldn't fit in here. I've still got that in the other box, but there's a whole sheet of these. And I'll photocopy them eventually. Probably I'm not going to buy more, I'm sure. But there's this that keeps the bioterrorist keeps track of what he did. So on where he starts out, on what city, where he's at. So I think part of this is trying to catch the bioterrorist. If you catch him, you get a better chance. You can stop him from spreading the diseases, perhaps. So he makes a plan as to where he's going to travel, starting city, where he goes to next, and so on and so forth. Yeah. He can drive, he can take a ferry, he can take a direct flight, he can charter a flight, he can draw a card. A lot of things he can do. But he has to be in certain cities to be able to fly. Certain ones have airports, other ones don't, so on and so forth. A lot of fun. Played it with 2 of my boys, and we really enjoyed it. One is really into games like me, Aaron, and the other one, Josh, is likes them. I don't think he's quite as into them as Aaron would be or myself, but he likes them, and I think the 3 of us had a really good time. Danny's the other one. He's the younger. He's 16, but the other 2 are 18. But yeah, but we enjoyed it, and yeah, it's Pandemic. Really, really like Pandemic a lot. Highly recommend it. Fairly easy to learn. Not as complex as some of these other games, but that's what's the beauty of it. And what's this thing take to play? 45 minutes. Not sure if that's upside down yet. Okay, this is my anal nature showing. I have to have the box on the right way. In other words, if the front cover is like this, I have to be able to turn it like this to see the back. So that's the idea. Anyway, Pandemic. Highly recommend Pandemic. Great game. And yeah, those are all the games I got. And not all the games I have. At some point, I'm going to do top 10 games. Let me plug these some more, and I'll talk about some classic games I already own in my top 10. I've been watching some game channels lately, board game channels, and I'm really enjoying them as well as my DVDs and Blu-rays and video game stuff. So my interests are many. Music's another one, but we'll get to that some other time. All right, guys, that's it for now. Board games. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know. I eventually move this over to my Dean of Gaming channel, since that's really going to be designed. I only have like 6 subscribers there. So if you're interested in the games from time to time, seeing the board games, I may even film my boys and I playing and talk through some of it, or give a demo on how to play it, so that if you're considering getting into board games or buying a particular board game, I may be able to help you with that. If I get enough subscribers, who knows? I may be able to devote a little more time to that. I do play board games, so to me it's just a matter of setting up a camera and letting it roll, and then maybe editing it later. Especially if my kids and I start yelling at each other and cursing. But we'll go from there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, check out Dean of Gaming. Excuse me. Let me know what you think of this video. If you want to see more like it, let me know. If you prefer not, let me know that, and I'll try to put those on Dean of Gaming. But those of you who like the game stuff, video games, board games, card games, poker, all that kind of stuff, let me know. If you like that, go over and subscribe to Dean of Gaming, and I'll, again, when I get 30, 40 people on there, it's a little more worth it than 6. Though the 6 people that are on there are friends of mine, and I think for the most part. And so I think they'll support no matter what I do, pretty much, and I appreciate that, guys. Roger and Sam in particular, I know, and I'm not even sure who all my subscribers are. I may even have a couple I don't even know. That's great too. But leave comments on that channel, leave comments on this channel, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Take care. See you next time.